What is up guys, Brix here back with week 19 of building the Umbaran Airbase in LEGO. Hopefully in this week's segment we will be getting the door mechanism finished, just basically connecting it on and getting all of the tiles done hopefully. So without further ado, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe as it really does help out the channel. Let's get right into this week's segment. So starting off this week's segment, as you can see, 3 more packages have arrived, so let's get right into opening up those. So as you can see, there is a bunch of stuff in here, so let's get right into it. So to start off with, I ordered some black slopes to finish off the mountains. So I believe I got 6 1x2x2 and then 2 2x4 black slopes. Did also pick up some curved slopes in dark tan and dark bluish grey. Probably the best part of the order, a bunch of these 2x6 dark bluish grey tiles. These were super expensive. I believe they were like £5 just for these, which is quite crazy, but they should really help me with all the tiling and such, and save me a bit of money on ordering 2x4s. And then last but not least, let's get right into this package. So as you can see, I picked up the rest of the 1x2 black tiles. I hope I don't need any more of these. I picked up way too many of these. I don't remember ordering this many, to be honest, but it's some of these like wedge slopes in black. Then I picked up a bunch of these 1x1 red studs, and then a random assortment of pieces in here. Some ball joints, some of these Travis bricks, and then a couple of the like the tile version of the studs there. But the majority of those parts from the last order are to make these plants here. I've got all the flex tubes that I need already, so I did have the right amount just for this one, but I am going to be making a couple more of them just to sort of spice up the terrain for UMBARA a bit. So I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me building up some of these, and I'll be back. So as you can see, I have made 3. One is obviously slightly shorter than the others, one's taller, just to add a bit of variety in there. I don't actually have any other black flex tube, but that leads us nicely on into this week's segment. So as you can see, I have roughly come up with a design to fill in the gap between the door. It does slightly stick out. This can be modified. Basically, you've just got those little panel pieces, and then I've just put a cheese wedge on there to get the angle right. It's not all fully connected yet, but the connection is pretty clean. However, on this side, it's just absolutely dreadful and doesn't look anything like it. So I am going to shorten the door by one of the things. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference because it looks all right like that. But yeah, it does need to be shortened. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in a quick time lapse. And as you can see, with that finished, it does look a little bit weird with it being slightly shorter, but it does give me a lot of room over here to do basically replicate that design, which I have all the pieces for. Obviously, all this is just like randomly balanced up at the minute. I can literally just take them down with ease. One of those are obviously going to have to be attached at some point, but I'm going to build the other one and then we'll think about attaching them after that. So as you can see, that is both of those finished. I was pretty much able to get all the parts that I need. I might replace this with dark bluish grey, but I think the touch of a light bluish grey just to sort of spice up the colour scheme just a little bit. But as you can see, these are built both exactly the same, so there might be some modifications. Obviously, this one has just a bit more detail by adding in that. But basically, next we're just going to find a way to connect these onto here. I'm thinking about connecting them to this, I think, first maybe, and then putting this in, because now we have a decent amount of room on both sides. It should be a lot easier. So as you can see, with those roughly balanced on, they obviously need connecting. There's a slight issue with this top part there, as you can see. Again, just temporary to hold them in place, but I am really liking how this is looking. I did actually make this one 2 plates longer, as there was a slight gap. I might make it 1 more plate longer, or make that one a plate longer, just to sort of even out the distribution of them, giving it that nice flush, you know, curve, which is exactly what we need. And then I can start to fill in this section, and then maybe we might be able to finish this damn roof that I am really struggling with. But as you can see, it fits. There's just that gap, and literally nothing is at that angle, so it's super annoying. But I really don't know what I'm going to do with this, so if you really do have any suggestions, please drop it down below. It would be much appreciated. But I'm going to find a way to connect them, and then we'll modify it from there. So with all those tiles used up, but I actually can't believe it, but I need more tiles. I thought 90 would have been enough. I did actually have 120 to begin with, and I thought, no, surely that'll be too many. So I cut the order down a little bit, and as you can see, I need some more tiles. So as you can see here, I've replaced some panels to make sure that these two, I don't know what you would call those, go on there, so that gives it a tiny bit more detail. But basically I'm going to put a flex tube through there like I have done here. I've got to attach it at the bottom, and then that attaches to the door to keep it flush, if that makes sense, across from it. Obviously there will be an attachment at the bottom, and it all will be moved downwards, but that'll be then one stable piece, and then all I've got to do is connect to the door, which should be relatively easy to do. But I'll be back once I have added in these. So after about 3 hours, which is absolutely ridiculous, I was finally able to get this roughly connected in. So on that side there, as you can see, I've added on like 2 plates of snot just to like increase the angle over there. I'm going to add a tile in that gap, but it does pretty much fit. I'm not too worried about that overlap. That one doesn't have as much of an overlap, but there is like a slight gap there, but it does fit perfectly. But next, I'm going to fill in all this gap with wedge plates, just following like the same patterns. It's just going backwards, and then it'll like go flat, and then it'll go like backwards there again. So hopefully that'll work. As you can see, these aren't at the same angle because that's obviously longer on that side, so it should cancel each other out, hopefully. So with everything connected on, basically this is roughly in line with the top there, as you can see. So again, the paneling is going to go along there. And then we've just got basically the tiles to put on there, and the roof to finish off, and then it's all pretty much finished. And then we can finally start on the room that's going to be at the top where the gunship is. So as you can see, I've been hard at work on the tower. Now it does look a bit rough at this point. There is a lot of colour showing, but the majority of it is done. There's obviously a bunch of tiles missing. I am completely out of tiles now. I just need a lot of like 1x4s, 1x2s, and 1x1s basically, just to fill in all the gaps that are left. I like the rough, jagged look of this. I've used some wedge plates here and there, just to sort of like make it look a bit more warm. As some of this is quite, you know, like brand new looking, so I'm going to change out some of the tile for light bluish grey. I also have added some hints of sand blue here and there, which I do think just adds that little bit of texture to it as well. However, I might take some out as there is quite a lot, but I've placed an order for like loads of tile, so hopefully that should be coming in at some point. But that is that. So as you can see, I managed to get all of these on there. Those are just stacked at the minute. I'm going to use these little brackets to put onto there, I think, because one, it'll give it that little half plate gap, and it should work out perfectly as well and keep it nice and attached. But I am going to do a couple more things, and then that should pretty much wrap it up for this week's segment. But sadly, that pretty much wraps it up for this week's segment. I do hope you all enjoyed. I did get a bunch of good progress done. I have placed an order for about 50-ish 1x2 tiles, so hopefully next week they will arrive. And also next week, we might actually finish off the mountain. So without further ado, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. And most importantly, take care, guys.